do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Wherever I go, he goes.
When people ask you what happened here, tell them the North remembers.
And here we go.
What's up, everyone? I'm Zach Williamson. This is the Culture Crave Podcast. I'm here with my co-hosts, Ross Cutsworth and Luke Goosens. Today we're talking House of the Dragon. Full-on spoilers, so make sure you watch the episode before listening. Had a lot of DMs reaching out saying it's the first time they're listening since back when we recorded Game of Thrones years ago. Welcome back. If you're new, I hope you like it. Make sure to drop us a rating and review after on Apple or Spotify. And fair warning, had mic issues with mine and Ross's mic. We don't think that'll be an issue going forward. So thanks, guys. One rule I think with this pod going forward for this is I don't think that we should talk about the future because the future is out there. Anyone can go find it. We're not going to be able to do theories as much with this. I feel like the show is also filling in gaps that weren't explained in the books.
Yeah, I was going to say, we already see that it's slightly different. You know, it's kind of its own thing with Aegon's vision being added in. Definitely filling in some gaps there.
Filling in something, though, because that was... That would be lost knowledge because, Rhaegar was probably the last one to know that stuff, and he got killed during Robert's Rebellion.
Yeah, pieced.
Yeah. That's cool. That's lost knowledge, and that's an interesting way to tie him over that, so Aegon really came over to Westeros for a bigger reason than just that. It's cool lore building in that aspect to add that.
Well, Oh, from Dragonstone? Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. Because I was going to say they went to Dragonstone from Valyria because of that vision.
That's what I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah.
But it's not really changing anything. It's just filling in something that makes sense with the lore.
No, yeah.
They did change, actually, a major change was the ages of the daughters of... what is her name again? Rhaenyra?
The fucking little princess?
Rhaenyra. It's Rhaenyra.
Yeah. Rhaenyra?
Oh, Rhaenyra, that's it. Why they always gotta have them kind of names?
With the AE in it?
Targaryen
Man, that's
name.
some Targaryen shit. So what they did change about her is that when she was named the heir in the book, she was 8 years old. And this definitely seems like she's a bit older. It seems more like she's 13, 14.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a little more realistic. You're gonna have an 88-year-old?
I think we don't need some
Joffrey.
like Leia... No, I was going to say like Obi-Wan acting.
We don't need some Leia bullshit. Yeah.
So they aged that up. And then Alicent Hightower, she was 9 years older than her in the book. So they changed that so that they're equal or same age, same-ish age. She might be a little bit older still.
Yeah.
But so that, and I think that works actually with the story.
Otto sending Alicent in was fucked. There's so many fucked moments in this episode.
That was pretty whack.
Yeah. That and then this motherfucker. Oh, what's his name? The king, Viserys? Viserys, right? Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm. He's the first one.
Him just making that choice for his wife.
Bro, it was about to
I was so pissed. No, it didn't. It didn't.
It was about to, though, I'm saying. For his dude, it almost panned out.
I mean, bro, that's not even the thing. You could have handled it differently.
Yeah, but bro...
He could have went up to her and been...
What did you say? Just hold still, man. That's like a really... that's such a fucked up moment for someone that you love to do, to have it go down that way. Because she was going to die regardless.
No. He said you could save one or the other.
No.
The Maester.
Yeah, that's what...
Yeah, he did. He said you could save one, but not both.
No. He said they're either both going to die or you can save one, as in you can save... the baby, I thought is what he was saying.
So we were trying to show how dangerous childbirth was, but also to dramatize the terrible position that Viserys is put in, because it's made very clear to him that Aemma is going to die either way. The only choice that you really have in the matter is whether you try to save the child. No.
Aegon Targaryen, who had 2 wives.
Well,
he had sister wives.
No, you could have fucking 2 wives. Okay, I didn't know that.
It's not traditional, right? Aegon might have been the exception and all that if I think back before the lore before that situation. Maegor Targaryen had multiple wives too. He actually had 6 wives.
Aegon was over 100 years before this. Because I'm pretty sure
there's been
close
so at the
to
time
300 years between
of this king, there was Jaehaerys, before him, and then before that was Maegor the Cruel, and before that was Aegon. So
yeah, and Jaehaerys ruled for like 60 years, so he had a long rule.
yeah, and Maegor even had a couple years.
Yeah, his was like 7 years. It was pretty decent.
Fuck, there actually might be another one in. No, Maegor was his son. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a brother before
fuck.
Maegor. Remember, there was someone before Maegor though too. He had his first son who was king, and he died, and he might have been killed low key by Maegor. Because Maegor was stronger. It's kind of like a Daemon situation right now.
Do you think Daemon is as bad as Maegor though? I don't think Maegor was evil as fuck. I mean, so Daemon's pretty.
At this point, you don't know yet, man. Like, maybe they both thought that what they were doing was right.
Daemon hasn't really done anything that bad yet.
I mean, besides just fucking maiming the shit out of a huge chunk of people.
They were criminals, to be fair.
Bronn did that shit, remember? In season 2, Bronn killed all the criminals and stuff before King's Landing, before the Battle of King's Landing.
No, he didn't kill them. He just rounded them up.
Dude, he implied that he killed him, though.
Okay, that's also fucked up a little bit. But, you know, Bronn, he had some redeeming acts.
Oh, so you're just giving Bronn a fucking free pass?
Yeah, what? Dude?
No, I said that's also fucked up. No, he's not. No, not Brand. Bronn.
Oh, sorry.
the guy that trains Jaime and shit. Yeah. No, fuck that dude. Fuck him.
I think the only thing that
he was a cool character
leads us to believe he's bad was that he sat on the Iron Throne that one time.
Bro, you might have said for a day. That's some fucked up shit, dude.
I know, that's so fucked.
About your brother? He loves his brother too. It's like if he really said that, that's still technically a rumor as of right now because he didn't confirm it. But
he didn't deny it.
He didn't deny it either. That's true. But didn't he go on that tangent about Hightower is a cunt and potentially is trying to manipulate situations too? Was that right? The same conversation, or was that a different one?
Yeah, they were playing in tandem, like side by side. They were playing out.
That was before that when you said that.
No, that was at the bar. That was the same.
No, bro, because the part where he goes off.
Oh, when he called him directly to a. Oh, yeah. But he was on a general tangent about people trying to kick him out in the bar, and then he also called him a cunt. Yeah.
Does the book explain how this all plays out?
Yeah, but it tells it from a different perspective. Yeah, it does.
Ross is wrong. It just gives an outline. Like, it doesn't even, there's not really lines or perspectives from his wife. So I thought that was actually a good ad that they included her dialogue and
described.
Yeah, bro, that's what I was saying, like, before the pod. So we're not going to talk too much in the future on things, but because if you really wanted to, anyone could look up and see what's probably going to happen with these people. They might do some slight changes, and also there's the factor, too, that the book was written by a maester after who won, which, off my dome, I honestly can't remember who ends up winning, who ends up coming out of this, which I'm going to try to keep to do for the next couple of years until it's over. But you could also have whoever wrote that be on the side of, you know, whoever won and could change some stuff. Because that's what George R. R. Martin said. They said, well, this is written from a certain perspective. The maesters.
Well, the whole thing with the book, too, is that it was written from multiple perspectives. So one of them was, a lot of it was written by like a certain maester. And his perspective is considered pretty reliable. But then some of it was written by like a court jester or just like a guy that's in the court to tell jokes and shit like that. And he wrote part of the book. And there's different perspectives. And so.
Okay.
In some scenes, like he has written some stuff too that was actually written out as a story. I think he wrote a story about Daemon, and there's a story about Rhaenyra. Did I say it right that time? Rhaenyra?
Yeah, I think so.
Has this maester been revealed in the story or no?
Bro, I'm trying not to remember that too far ahead, but I don't know actually. They might have. Yeah, so it's like they can change some stuff and fill in some stuff, but there is an outline, yes. And we do know where this story is going. George R. R. Martin has at least finished the entire outline of where this all goes to by the time we get to Game of Thrones era, Robert's Rebellion, all that.
Oh, it's like Maester Gilden.
George
and
R.
the
R.
concept
Martin's already
too.
written all this. He's written all this, or he just told the fucking directors this.
He has a whole outline for what happens.
Yeah, that you can go. Any of us can read, and it sort of is like an encyclopedia. But then there's some stories that he's also written in it too that do certain situations.
Okay. Zach, I have that book. I've shown that to you, right? No. It's like the history of Westeros or something.
Oh, well, Fire and Blood might be the expansion or the most complete
Yeah.
version, but for this show is based on Fire and Blood, is what they said.
Yeah, if Fire and Blood is more like that one with different perspectives, and then there's an encyclopedia one that's like history of Westeros. It's something like that, but
there's another
it
one.
just has a whole timeline. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and Luke, the other thing that they said is that for this story specifically, they only have, I think they said 4 seasons plotted for it, for this storyline with these characters right now, this generation of Targaryens. But there's still other, with Fire and Blood, you could do like a sequel series and call, I don't know, House of the Dragon 2. And then it's 100 years in the future, or 50 years. You know, it's like another generation. You can do other stories. You could go backwards too and show Aegon's conquest.
The dragons declining too, if it was after.
Yeah. Well, this is going to show the great decline of the dragons. It's, you know.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Some of the shit that happens in this story. Ooh, I'm excited for the later seasons. Holy fuck. Like the battle over the God's Eye is going to be insane.
You just literally now talking spoilers, bro. Are you serious?
Wait, damn, no, I'm not saying anything specific. I'm just saying.
No talking ahead.
Oh, dude.
I know this will be hard because we can't theorize as much with this show, but man, it's fun to actually be talking about Game of Thrones again, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that shit was actually fucking good. I thought the whole time quality. I liked even how they added that scene with Jaehaerys at the beginning and showed basically, it was like a prologue, you know? That was cool.
Yeah, that was nice. It caught you because I feel like it just did a good job of catching up a lot of people where they're at.
Dude, I've never seen a point of view jousting shot like that too. That was sick.
Bro, that was dope. Yeah.
That was so tight.
The what is it, arms combat or whatever that they did after was pretty dope too.
Yeah, what the fuck are the rules of jousting, bro? I thought like this dude was tripping horses there, and it's like is it just to the death? I didn't understand that. I thought, man, I mean, my knowledge is largely based off Knight's Tale, and
dude, same. Because I was gonna say
like,
this
bro,
seems like a
you
unique
can trip
take.
a fucking horse, man.
I think it's a unique take on jousting because, well, based on what I've seen in other movies, this seems a lot more cutthroat.
Fast jousting too. That was sick, man. They were just running around grabbing another one,
it. Round 2, baby. No pause at all, just straight in.
And then they're allowed to just hop off their horse and fight to the death.
Yeah,
like, right out.
Like if you're a sore loser, you can just assault your opponent.
Jousting does not look fun at all, bro. Like I would bet money on that shit, but dude, no shot, man. I guess
you're basically
I was
just a glorified gladiator.
The Hound, the Mountain, he kind of cheated in jousting too. Remember? So they did establish
when he cut the horse's head off. Oh.
Didn't he kill the guy too?
Yeah, I think he added a special reinforcement to his lance or something, right?
Yeah, you fucking cheating ass motherfucker.
Yeah. And afterwards, he cut his horse's head off with one blow.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Yeah, so I guess you can do that. They've established that. So, but this was brutal. That whole scene was brutal, and then cutting it together with the C-section, Jesus.
Holy shit, that was graphic as fuck. That was intense.
All of that was, man. They were smashing heads, too, of that.
Yeah.
You saw like a Stark go down bad, bro. Stark got smoked during all that.
Oh, yeah. Some of the Baratheons got smoked, too, big time.
I think one did, yeah. So there was like a Baratheon and a Stark, both definitely died in that battle.
God damn. Kristen Cole, though, he's going to be... Oh, wait, fuck, I can't talk spoilers. Okay, Kristen Cole, watch out for him, man. Watch out for him. That's all I'm going to say.
Daemon sliding, too. That was sick, man. I mean, that whole sequence was dope. And Miguel Sapochnik, he's the one who did like Hard Home. He did Battle of the Bastards. He's the showrunner of this show. He directed this episode, and he's directing 2 more later in the season. I think there's 6 and 7. And he just was like, yeah, we just knew we needed to get some sort of scene in here that would show what we can do with this show, you know, with the action. And it was well done.
Was there some kind of weird sexual tension between Daemon and Rhaena or whatever the fuck?
Rhaenyra?
Oh, when he was putting the necklace on? Is that what you're talking about?
Bro, every time they're fucking looking at each other.
I couldn't tell if that was just them having like a really
I
good
think they both-
friendship or if it was
they
more
do.
than that.
They do really trust each other. I was reading some interviews too, and they actually asked both these actors about it, and they were just told to play it like they clearly love each other and their family, and there could be something more. There could be another thing with it, is what they were told to play it. So,
The incest is
Yeah.
strong in these ones.
yeah, and so then Matt, what's his name? Matt fucking Smith. Is that his name? The actor who plays Damon?
Oh yeah.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
say Matt Damon.
Yeah, that guy is fucking good in his role too.
I thought all the acting was pretty good, honestly.
For sure.
Especially
I thought he stood out this episode.
Yeah, this is another lineup of no-name actors, too.
yeah, I haven't heard of pretty much any of these people, and they're all knocking it out of the park. I think Matt Damon was a standout, and I also think fuck,
Damon,
dude, I
baby.
just
He's Matt
God damn,
Damon.
what's his name?
Matt Damon, baby.
Matt Smith.
Matt, Matt Smith. God damn it.
Damn, bro, the most
I think-
generic name ever.
Sorry, man. I'm just
Classic.
the Damon.
Go on.
I think Matt Smith, and then also the actress who played the mother of Rhaenyra, they both had great performances, especially this episode. I think they were the standouts. Like they were amazing. both
The
of them.
mother?
Yeah.
She had like
She was good.
fucking 10 lines.
Yeah, but dude, you felt
I
like
think she
that's
did
what I
really
mean.
well.
With 10 lines, you fucking nail your shit, you know? I thought that she added a lot of emotion to her roles, and even telling him originally, I can't do another one, man. That was a good scene with her. And then the scene with her and her daughter.
Yeah. And seeing how she reacted when the C-section was being performed too, and all of her acting in that part was intense.
Yeah, bro.
Very good.
I thought it was good. I didn't know it was like standout.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree, motherfucker.
I actually thought the girl playing Rhaenyra was really good too, man. And I was thinking, I looked her up after, and she's 22 years old. So it's like they're going to be the time jump and be a different actress later in the show. But man, she was good enough that I felt like you could just have her be it.
Bro, they got her looking so young. Damn.
They did have her looking young, though. I think maybe they do. Well, she filmed it, probably 2 years ago, so she'd been 20. Yeah. She's supposed to look like a young teenager. I think that she must be, like 14 then in this? 13, 14? Because she's not 8. There's no way that she's playing 8 years old.
You think she's 13?
I'm just trying to think of, like, where they would age him up to. Because remember, they did that in Game of Thrones also. Jon Snow was, 13, 14 at the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
In the books, Luke, sorry.
And then he was like 16, 17 in the show.
Rob was, like, half a year older than Jon Snow.
She's 11. She's 11.
And
in the show.
Daenerys was hella young, too, supposed to be in the book.
Yeah, she was even younger when she was raped by Khal Drogo,
Yeah, so they aged up.
which was
It makes
insane.
sense to age up, is what I was saying. I think what they did was good.
Yeah. And also from what you were saying earlier, from the perspective of not having to cast people that are that young. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
And
Makes
the
it easier to
Valerian
cast.
scenes, the way they did the Valerian scene was really cool, too, with Damon's introduction. Just them talking, like there was a bunch of conversations. And I do think that Damon really does actually care about his brother and his niece. It did feel like there was sympathy there at the funeral, and with that scene with her, with Rhaenyra at the funeral. Yeah, I think he does care for his brother, and he knows that. Basically, he's saying, bro, we have to be the ones sticking together still, instead of this Hightower guy, you know? At the end of the day, he's not family.
You're right about him deep down. I think he cares about his family, but you're right. There's just that.
And
barrier in
they've
between them.
foreshadowed the pirate stuff, too. That is going to be...
I know it. Yes.
That was a good fucking little tie. Bro, they actually, did a lot of good foreshadowing and setting up based off just one throwaway line here and there in the episode.
It was good,
But
dude. I'm
Can't
excited.
say too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Why did you add that rule, Zach? That's torturous.
I know, man, but I
Fuck.
just think, that's too much, bro.
There's so much lore.
There's enough to talk about within the episode. Or even right now, we're 30 minutes in. That's not bad. Before even all
Yeah.
the questions.
You know what I would love to see as a spinoff would be the Valyrian Empire before it fell, and to see the doom of Valyria. That
It'd
would
be a lot of
fucking
dragon
dope.
stuff.
Yeah, their budget would have to be massive.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Maybe. I kind of like having all that shit kind of be lore. Because that's
Mysterious.
so far back. And even this right here is only, what, 200-ish years before, and it
170.
feels like it's far enough away that it's like, oh, it makes sense. No one would be alive. It's a whole different story. There's enough gap here.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess this is less fantastical too. It's more similar to what we saw in the mainline Game of Thrones. Just there's going to be more dragons, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to keep building up to all that stuff. This was a good first episode. Established the world, everything again. Yeah, it was good. Any other thoughts, fellas?
No, I'm excited.
That's all my questions.
Interesting to see how. I wonder how Corlys Valerian's going to play out in the show. Because it was interesting to see how he was switching on his claims a little bit between Daemon and his wife.
I think, no, he ultimately went to his wife.
Yeah. So you think that's like his number one priority?
Well, I think at
Over
first he
Daemon?
was like, hey, this is the fucking law. But then, all right, if you're
Yeah.
going to do these things, well, what about this woman who was supposed to actually be the queen then? You know?
Yeah, true. And she's
And
still
has
in
sons.
good health. And yeah.
Already has a
That's a
male
good
heir.
point.
When it started to being a discussion about all that, then he came in with that shit. So that was interesting to tie his to that did come up. But he seems pretty straightforward. He was down with Daemon when he said, hey, we need to enforce shit if they're all, you know, because he's been in a ton of battles himself in his backstory. Tons of battles, bro. He's the dude out on the fucking. They might even show that shit, man.
Driftmark.
Maybe I can't remember any of the storylines.
What's
but
the name of that dude?
Corlys Valerian.
Corlys, Valerion, and the Valerians were tied to the Targaryens too for a while.
Yeah. But those two families came over from Valyria when it fell. So they're both like separate Valyrian families. I'm pretty sure some of the Valyrians can use dragons. But I think it's rare. It's rare than in the Targaryens, right?
It's so super rare. I think it even is most of the ones who did were also Targaryens crossed over.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't think he has a dragon, if that's what you're asking.
No, I don't think he does either.
His wife
Do
does.
any of them at this point? Oh,
Yeah, a lot of them have paired up dragons. At this moment, for sure, the king, Daemon, Rhaenyra, the queen who never was. What's her name? It's like
Isn't it
Daenerys.
like Valenis? Or I
Starts with
think
a
it starts
D.
with a V. Oh shit. You said it's D, I said V.
I think it's a D, dude. No? Daenerys? Plus, isn't there some
Is it-
Targaryens who aren't even living in King's Landing like they go over in other places? Dragonstone,
Oh, it's Rhaenys. So it starts with
Rhaenys.
the R. Okay. Shit, we
Okay,
both-
Rhaenys, Rhaenyra. Man, these names are tough sometimes. Shit.
We'll get there though. It's only episode 1.
Why is Jaehaerys so easy to remember? The old king?
I don't know. It just looks like Jaehaerys.
Fuck.
I don't know, dude. I can't tell you that. Wait, what were you saying though originally?
I mean, we were just talking about Corlys and what you could do with his story. Yeah, he's kind of old though at this point, though, bro. He's like 50 something, man.
True.
He's almost 60, I think.
I don't even
But yeah,
remember.
I don't know
remember what
if his. He's the one who mentioned the pirate thing though, and like as a naval person, he would have to eventually deal with that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm just thinking about some of the wars and shit that happens in some of the different factions and everything.
Yeah, I think what we can always reference to is that the one thing that we can allow is the Targaryen Civil War because that's already been talked about and established even in the old Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They've already referenced that time, but we don't know. We don't talk about who or what factions or any of that shit. I think that is stuff we do not talk about because that's spoilery.
Yeah. Wait, so what would you two want to see as what's your top spin-off at this point that you could have? Like
This was
would it be
mine.
Nymeria? No. Outside of this, I know that this one's gonna be sick, but outside of this,
What's your top spinoff, Ross?
I don't, bro. Here's the thing. I don't even want to see another spinoff. I want them to just do this one right now because they have a fucking good idea. Don't turn it into like Star Wars or Marvel and do a bunch of shit. Just figure this story
Yeah.
out. Maybe do an animated show.
Ross, you asked the question like you had something in mind.
Oh no, I said that because I brought up earlier that something I really would want to see is the Valyrian Empire, and then I was like, oh wait, I wonder what Luke and Zach's top spinoffs would be.
I can tell
And
you
then I
all of them
started
that are in
thinking about-
development right now, and then if you want to decide off those, because that one's I don't
Damn,
think that
there's
they're doing that
multiple.
one.
Yeah, there's like
They have stuff
4, I
in
think.
development. There was even like a script, I think, for the area that you're talking about, Ross, but they already scrapped that idea.
Yeah, dude, that one
So
was
maybe
crazy
they're
too.
still
They had
open to. They could be open to the concept, but they scrapped like the first couple takes on it.
I think for that
Strips
one they
on it.
had 4 different basically encyclopedias for lore that they had written up for that show specifically. Like
Oh,
they
that's
had
cool. That he hasn't
a
even released
wild
that.
amount of script literature. Yeah.
George
No,
R.
not even
Martin.
George R. R. Martin. They hired people that worked closely with George R. R. Martin to build out a massive amount of lore for everything.
Well, if he's a part of it, then I consider that his lore because I think he just knows at this point, dude, I really want to build out the world. And he has to sign off on
Yeah.
everything, too. It's all his. That's the other thing, too, with this show. It's just you can totally tell that George R. R. Martin's all over this one.
Yeah, that's true. It has a lot of his classic fingerprints, I would say, with the characters being very gray. You know, that you see them do fucked up things and you see them do kind and empathetic things. They're not all totally despicable or totally wholesome.
I don't think anyone's giving me straight up Joffrey vibes.
Yeah.
Nothing like that right now. But there's still more Targaryens to be introduced also.
True.
Lots more, man. There's like 10 more to go, I think. Shit.
Yeah.
What? In this whole fucking saga?
There's a lot of
this
Targaryens.
season alone, dude, there's going to be several more because and there's kids and stuff too. A bunch of other. This is a whole generation of them coming up, and even
I
like
read in an interview.
Corliss's kids, they didn't have any speaking lines, and they're going to be point of view characters for sure too.
Luke, I read in an interview that there's going to be 8 dragons in this season. 8 different dragons.
I think it's 9
It's 9? Okay. And then there's going to be, 11 total?
in the
whole
show. They're planning 17.
Oh, 17.
That's what George
Okay,
R.
that makes
Martin
sense
said.
because, yeah, that's how many. I was going to say in the encyclopedia, it says before the Dance of the Dragons, there were 17 or I think it was like 17 or 18 dragons.
There'll be
then it outlines all of
17. Yeah, there'll be a lot.
Dude, imagine if they did your Valyria spinoff. Ross, how many dragons would they have to do?
Holy shit.
10 million?
No, there was
Hundreds,
never.
thousands.
There,
I think
there
there
was
was
probably peak 1,000. I think 1,000's a fuck
Yeah.
ton though. But yeah, man, they
That's so many.
they had quite a bit more. But
Yeah, didn't they
not
have like a
hundreds
bunch of magic
thousands.
and shit back
Oh
then?
yeah, big time magic. They were going into the volcano, the Valyrian, like I don't even remember what the volcano was called, but they were going into it and
Valyria,
practicing.
wasn't it?
Well, the volcano specifically, but the whole area was called Valyria. But I don't.
Mount Valyria.
I don't fucking know, dude. I don't remember.
Maybe.
but they were.
I don't know. It makes sense, right?
Yeah, they were practicing magic in there, and that's kind of what led to the doom of Valyria. Or a lot of people speculated that, but apparently they dabbled too heavily.
There was like, land dragons too. Those ones didn't even fly. At
Yeah,
that point.
the worms. They're called like worms.
Yeah, they were just like the
WIRM.
faces, basically.
Yeah, they're big ass lava salamander type things.
Yeah, and they'd live
Yeah,
in the
that-
mountain.
That would be a cool spin-off, I think. Also, I
It'd be
think
hard.
the Long Night would be cool. Or one that is...
I don't want the long night.
No, not a fan.
I just don't think we need to see the Night King take another L. We already saw how that story ends. There's so much more stuff to do.
I just want to see the White Walkers given more time.
Lose again.
That is true, though. Fuck. One thing... Okay, what would be cool is seeing a spin-off in...
Without
Deep
a dragon.
Essos.
They didn't even fucking lose to a dragon that time.
I know, that was a fat L. Just a guy with a burning sword. Well, like, what the hell?
I
How
guess
does that
there's
happen?
a story there, but bro, like,
How do you lose to
I'm not
one
ready,
guy
man.
with a sword?
Maybe 20 years from now or something, you could then come back and be like, well, can we do this? And maybe make it, I don't know though, dude. Honestly, the storyline, even with it, even around it with building a lot of houses and there wasn't like one top house really. There was like a bunch more houses. That even feels just super close to Game of Thrones too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you need to do that story.
something deep in Essos would be cool, because throughout the Targaryen Empire, there would be a lot of princesses and princes that would just basically get on their dragon and be like, I have the ultimate mode of transportation that exists in this world, so I'm just going to try to explore as much as I can. And some dragon riders went deep into Sithorios, which is that southern continent below Essos, far to the east, and that would be cool to see some stuff like that.
I don't think they ever came back.
Unknown. Never came
They're
back.
dead, dude. So there's no story there right now. I guess you'd have to have George R. R. Martin write that shit. And I'd still rather be like, dude, George, if you're going to be writing me more books, you need to just fucking do your version of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Get that done. Get to the end of it.
Fair. He's already taking so many breaks, though, to write other stuff.
Bro, I mean,
Just
you
let
got to
him
make
in.
sure that the TV shows are good. The TV shows, that shit keeps people interested. Keeps people
But what
waiting.
if they turn this into a TV show?
Bro, when this book drops,
TV show?
it might sell 1 million copies first week.
Winds of Winter?
Yeah, and the one after it. He's still
Yeah.
got another whole ass book he's got to write.
Yeah. The Dream of Spring. That's what people,
Bro,
Like, we've been waiting so long for the Winds of Winter, it's not even the last fucking book.
I know, he finally, very recently was, straight up, it's going to be way different now. Before he was
No, I
sort
saw
of not
that.
really being, he was kind of being coy about it and saying, yeah, some stuff will be the same. And now, it's going to be very different. Like multiple times he said that recently.
When they were promoting season 8 before it even came out, he was saying stuff like, he was way more in line with what was going to happen. And then I feel like he's changed a lot of things in his mind.
Well, he's just been, a lot of the stuff he's been saying is crazy. I think because he got that fucking deal, man. He got his deal with HBO. And then he was saying how recently he said too that, I wasn't really involved at all with the last season, last 2 seasons even. Like he said that the other day.
Because D&D did kind of say that they consulted with him less than in previous seasons.
They did say
what
that,
it seemed like. Yeah.
They said because he was busy writing the book. It didn't feel like that's what he sounded like, though. This is like him writing this out in context. I don't know necessarily the exact context of what he's trying, like if he's saying it, that he's mad about it, or if it's just, this is what happened. That seems like that's what happened.
You know what would be sick? Is imagine Smash Bros. But it's just with Pokemon characters.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Why are you talking about Pokemon? Motherfucker. Here, I'm bringing up fan questions. Are we talking about Pokemon now?
Okay,
All right, let's wrap
but
it
would
up.
that not be
I know,
sick?
bro. That was so fucking random.
I thought you were about to say something about some Game of Thrones game.
No, that's already in Multiverses. Arya Stark is in that game. And they're going to put more Thrones characters in.
Yeah.
No, but I ran out of House of the Dragon slots, so I just thought about something else that I
Don't
thought
worry.
about
Here,
today.
dude, I'll read some fan questions. At Noobface is his handle. He says, I hope the entire show isn't just focused on King's Landing. Game of Thrones was great, quote, until the end because it focused on different people across all of Westeros. Well, man, this show is kind of about a big family that lives and rules King's Landing. But there's probably going to be because there's other Targaryens around, and now Daemon's been sent off, so that's going to be a point of view outside of King's Landing. There's already been some seeds planted in this episode too about where the show could go. So I don't think.
Yeah, I was definitely worried about that as
You
well.
were?
While I was watching about it, I was just thinking about it because this entire episode takes place in King's Landing, right? Whereas Game of Thrones episode 1 takes place beyond the wall in Winterfell, in King's Landing.
No, it's not in King's
Essos.
Landing. Oh, there is one scene, you're right. They show,
Jon Arryn.
dude, wait, Aaron, was that the same
Hand of the
last
King.
name as?
Yeah, from the Vale.
No, wait,
Yeah,
bro, is that
Aaron.
the same last name as his wife? What was his wife's last name? The king's wife.
Yeah, Damon's wife.
No, not Daemon.
Oh,
I'm
the
talking
king's
about the king's wife. What
Oh,
was
let
her
me look.
last name? Was she a Targaryen or did she have a different name?
I'm pretty sure she is like partially Targaryen.
Absolutely, because she had blonde
Oh
hair.
yeah, Aemma Aaron.
Aaron.
because she has that.
So
Yeah, it's Aaron.
both episodes start with an Aaron dying. That's interesting.
Oh, truly,
parallel.
yeah.
Huh. Both kick off some
think about
crazy
that.
events.
True.
So that's a tie there.
What about
Yeah, I did not think about that.
Anyway, what were you
What about
saying, Ross? Or Luke? Either of you?
isn't Sir Kristen Cole from Dorne? He's Dornish.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a Dornish perspective.
That's true, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was...
Targaryens mad respected Dorne, too, because Dorne was beating them in wars back in the day. Even with dragons, they didn't lose because they couldn't get to them, basically. They were just hella smart about hiding. And that's another thing, too, that was kind of lost because they had a lot of respect for that family. And, then what happens in Game of Thrones TV show.
Dude, isn't Daenerys' brother named after him, too? Viserys the second?
He's not the second, bro. He was never king.
Or the... Oh, okay. Yeah, true. But Viserys, right? He was named after him?
Mm-hmm.
Or he was just Viserys?
He was named... Viserys is just a family... Yeah, it's a family name.
Yeah, just a family name. Because there's probably other Viseryses after this guy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Aegons. I mean, there'll be another Aegon in this show, even. Potentially.
Jon Snow, there is. No, there, oh, shit. Yeah, potentially. No, no spoilers. Because Jon Snow is Aegon the Fifth. So there's a fuck ton of them.
Aegon V Targaryen. Yeah, because there's Aegon the Second. Because wasn't Aegon's son Aegon Jr.? Potentially? No? Who was king? Fuck, I don't remember anymore. Yeah, this is off. I don't even want to look into this shit. Okay, let's move on. More questions.
Junior.
Wait. What was it? Oh, no, I was worried about that. What I was saying earlier. I was worried about that as well, but then I started thinking about where this story goes in the show, and it's definitely going to have to take the perspective to a bunch of other places outside of the king. So I don't think you will have to worry about that long term, even though this first episode was very focused on King's Landing.
What are all those small eggs they put in the small council? That's from D7OMPK.
Small eggs,
I was wondering that as well.
I think there was a behind the scenes thing, and they just said that it just means that you're checking in really for the meeting, the council meeting.
I didn't even see any eggs. What?
They put those little balls in the table when they sit down.
Oh, shit, I didn't see that. I'll have to look for that.
Yeah,
Damn.
So they just said that they're adding little small world building details by doing stuff like that. It's probably in the book somewhere.
I know, because Miguel Sapochnik and Ryan Condal, I saw in multiple interviews, they kept talking about how they wanted to give a lot of attention to detail when it came to this show and making it replicate what they read in the books.
Yeah, and they had George R. R. Martin checking over everything, too. He watched every episode before they were signed off, basically, except for the finale.
You think he forgets some of the shit he's came up with?
Absolutely.
I bet he has,
dude.
He literally said that in an interview. He said that sometimes people are such big nerds, they come up to him and talk to him about his stuff, and he doesn't even remember what they're talking about because it's such a deep cut, and they just
wrote it 30 years ago now too. Jesus.
Yeah. He's like, this person's more invested in this than I am.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an interesting question. I'm not going to tell you who they're talking about though. So I7 Modi said in Game of Thrones there was a scene that Joffrey Baratheon is talking about the death of a certain character in the show, and does that count as a spoiler? And man, I would say, yeah.
Wait, what was the
just
question?
Try to forget who it was, you know? So
Wait, what was the question?
He was okay. So the question says, does this count as a spoiler? In Game of Thrones, there was a scene that Joffrey Baratheon is talking about the death of one of the characters who is going to be in the show or in the show. And he's asking if that counts as a spoiler. And I said, definitely. That would be considered for sure a spoiler, I think. But it is mentioned. Yeah. It's funny. I forgot about that conversation. So when people are rewatching Game of Thrones, there's something to pick up. I mean, that's a potential spoiler right there for sure.
I think there might be multiple things. I'm not sure.
For sure. Like the Targaryen Civil War is alluded to.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Shireen talks about some of the characters in season 5 right before she gets burned. Mm-hmm. She's like talking to her dad about the Dance of the Dragons. Mm-hmm. She might give some spoilers as well.
He does
is
for sure.
Is it a spoiler though if they already revealed it in the show?
I know, that's the problem. It's like, well, fuck, should we talk about that? Because it is in the lore, and we do have a lot of people probably literally rewatched the whole show recently. I don't know. I got to think about this more. Honestly, I'll ask our podcast listeners. We'll do a poll and get some feedback for the next episode, so we can decide if we can talk about. But then the problem is, Ross, is what actually was said and what do I think was said. Have to double check, I guess.
Fair.
Okay. Let's see if there's anything else here. Nah, I mean, a lot of these questions are things that have been brought up. Do you think at any point we'll see a prequel to this?
To this, like Aegon.
People are complaining about it being too dark. Do you guys think it was too dark? I think it was too dark, as in like the color, the lighting.
No.
It depends on how you watch it, because Amanda and I started it at 7 or 6.
When it was still sunny
It
out.
was 6 PST, and it was still sunny out, and it was really hard to watch. And we immediately just looked over at each other and we were like, let's wait till the sun goes down, and this will be so much better. And it was.
Yeah, I watched
Everything
it
was
when
so
it
much clearer.
brighter. Yeah, for sure. So I get that, and I think maybe the scene at the end when he's banishing Damon. That scene was kind of dark, but that's a fucking dark room, man.
Yeah,
It's all lit up with candlelight.
and it fits the mood of the tone of what's happening.
Yeah, man. The tone felt very Game of Thrones. The setting, everything, it felt very Game of Thrones. But actually, it felt even brighter in parts of the episode. There was more color, and they showed more of the tree. What's that?
The werewood.
Yeah, the werewood scene. That was really, some of those
that
sets
was
were so
sick.
cool. I was like just watching, like, damn, they actually built this whole fucking thing for this set. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little thing in there as well, because at the point of in Game of Thrones, all the werewoods are chopped down except for the ones in the north. And so that one being in King's Landing is kind of cool, just seeing the progression of what happens.
Yeah.
Little world building. Any other questions?
This is this another comment. He said, "What do you guys think about the score? I wish the music wasn't so similar to Game of Thrones, but I fucking loved it. Even at
That's
parts.
the point of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I want it to be.
I feel like it made itself its own thing as well.
Yeah, he had that new piano song at the end too. That because he doesn't really use
Yeah.
piano in Game of Thrones. He used it with the Night King, and then maybe one other time. I remember it in that show when the
The
piano
one with
was
Cersei.
used. Yeah, when
Dude,
Cersei blows
the
up
one-
the sept, that was sick.
Yeah,
so he always
fire.
Ooh, you know, that's a good connection that he always used. The piano is really only used in Miguel Sapochnik episodes. Sapochnik. I need to double check that too, but he directed all 3 of those episodes. So maybe it will be used more in this show.
He did A Long Night as well. You said that one, right? Yeah, he's done a lot of good episodes.
And they used
Even though-
Daenerys' version of the Game of Thrones outro or, intro. When she frees all the Unsullied and all those people, they used that version of the theme. So that's like the Targaryen version, which I thought was sick, man. I really liked. They wouldn't even need to hear the new score or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Next
when
episode.
Rhaenyra was getting pronounced queen, right? Or
At the very end,
Heir to
after
the
she
throne.
got named the heir. Yep. Then they
yeah, I
intertwined
liked
that.
all those leitmotifs that were included that connected them back to thematic moments in Game of Thrones as well. And then on top of that, I thought there was
The
plenty
Stark
of
one.
new
They
stuff
did that too
layered
for
in
a second.
as well. Yeah, that was sick, dude. That was When what was his? Is it Torrhen Stark? Was it Torrhen Stark or?
I think it was Rickon
I
Stark
don't know,
because
but
it was a Stark
it was
name
Rickon.
that was used in Game of Thrones. Yeah,
When he was like pledging fealty.
and it's a good way to tie it back to the world. I mean, it really felt like a show within that world, but it felt new. It felt like just a different story, and I'm invested, man. Fuck, I was like, damn, I wish they had dropped 2 episodes. Shit.
Yeah, that would be nice. But this one was really long too. At the same time, it felt nice.
Yeah, they're
It
all
was
an
good
hour.
length.
10 episodes, all an
Yeah.
hour long, I think. Right around an hour.
Ooh, that's what I'd love to hear. That is a sweet spot.
Yeah, man.
If Game of
So-
Thrones, dude, if Game of Thrones would have finished off with the last 2 seasons as 10 episodes, I think it would have solved so many things.
Dude, the problem with a lot of these questions is the answer is out there, Can't answer,
Yeah,
can't even
yeah.
talk about it. Can't talk about some of this stuff. Yeah.
That's yeah.
It's going to be a wild ride for some of these people, man, because, fuck, reading some of these questions.
I know.
Early favorite to be killed next. We can't talk about that.
Yeah. Well, there might be somebody more minor that we're not thinking about that dies sooner.
Please discuss how mid it is. I'm sorry, Roxy, I can't. I don't agree.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah, it was fucking good. All right, fellas. All right, everyone, that's our show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter @CultureCrave, @Thrones_Facts. I'm Zach Williamson. We'll be back next week with more House of the Dragon.